He had no briefcase, he had no suit and tie back then. But now this dog, the Most High made him upright to the point where he's speaking English and dominating the world, taking the resources, alright, creating systems or cash-based societies. Look at these dogs, man. They were kept just 100 years ago. Just the other day. And look at them now. Proud, man. You see it? Proud. Head up high. Look at our military. This dog has now a military? Tell me this dog has a military? And we, the people of culture and life, when the Most High just turned everything upside down. See that? See, the Most High took our back, because we had the resources. Because we lived in like the Fertile Crescent. That's where Israel was. So we had access to an abundance of gold, man. Alright? Even when we migrated to Africa, you go Congo and them places there, that's an abundance of raw material, man. But the Most High made us where he weakened us and took our, you know what I'm saying, our wisdom away, man. To the point where other nations that have nothing, that have no raw material, somehow they entered into our territory and changed the game, man. And deceived us into giving them all our wealth, man. See how the Most High changed up the spirit, man.
Yeah. I appreciate what you said.
Well,
this is Psalms 22:16. I started 50. My strength is dried up like the potsherd.
Right.
And my tongue cleaveth to my jaws. And thou hast brought me into the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. Right. They pierced my hands and feet.
Right. That was the prophesy speaking of Yahushua. But we can also resemble that the likeness to the whole nation as a whole, man. The Most High brought us to the dust. And now dogs, you see these dogs talking about these other nations, these Gentiles. They've encompassed us, and they're the ones piercing us. They're the ones torturing and molesting us. You see that? Hold on. Right? How is that? You gotta think about it. You gotta think about how strange that is, man. Here it is, we're the ones with the wealth, but yet we're seen as the lowest. How is that possible? And in other nations like the Japanese, they live on top of a rock out in the middle of goddamn nowhere. But they're seen as being one of the greatest economies. How the hell did they get out of that wealth? The Chinese. Esau, the so-called white man. He live in Europe, let's call it the bottomless pit. How the hell did he manage to attain such wisdom? You know, he's wiser than Daniel. How did he attain such wisdom? To the point where he was able to think smartly. Where's it, one of the Borgias? He's the one with the 5 sons. What's his name? The Rothschilds. What's his name? He had the 5 sons. Amshal. Yeah. He's the one who had the wisdom to understand that, listen, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to loan money, not to small businesses, but I'm going to lend money to major corporations and countries. And then with that, they have to owe me. And then they're going to put interest on top of it. So pretty much all these countries and all these major corporations, they're pretty much they're servants to me. You understand? Because they owe me now. And then he positioned his sons in 5 major regions around the world, man, to have control over the resources, man. So the Most High equipped Esau with wisdom and understanding. Alright? And the Most High must have de-equipped us and took wisdom and understanding from us. You see how people, once we get money and wealth, we get laid back, man. We get laid and then we get weak. When we start flowing on wealth and gold, we stop thinking about being on guard. We start thinking about other nations thinking to conquer us and to take what we have. Okay? So the Most High put the spirit, he made his angels work, man.
Wow.
Okay? And then when we start luxurizing, we forgot about the Most High. We forgot about that discipline. And then we start doing what the flesh tells us, man. Or animal instinct. Chasing after other men's wives. Just being more laid back and chilled, man. So what if I eat a little bit of pork? You don't matter, man. It's a little thing, man. Then we start taking liberties with the law, with the sacrificial law. Alright? So that's us getting weak. Right? That's true, man. See, time is by and by. The Most High does these things. He doesn't do it all at once. By and by, He weakens us and then He strengthens the nations. And then before you know it, they're on top and we're at the bottom.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
Right.
He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up again.
Right.
The Lord maketh the poor and maketh the rich.
Right.
He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Well, so the Lord's in charge of everything, basically. You know? Scripture said the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord, man. Right?
I'm going to finish it off one verse. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and He hath set the world upon them.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So the Most High lifted the poor, the caveman out of the dunghill, and made them motherfucking royalty, man. Now he's royalty. Now he's got this power. Okay? Wait.
It's like 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 10. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of the heaven shall He thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and He shall give strength unto His king, and exalt the horn of His anointed.
Right, so that's the Lord coming back, Yahweh Shai, man, thundering from the heavens. Alright? And talking about He's going to break the adversary into pieces. Because who is the adversary? The very word adversary means Satan. Satan means adversary. And who plays the part as the devil? Esau, man. Alright? Because they're adverse to life in general. In general, they're adverse to life. Even their very appearance is adverse to them, man. Their very physical appearance is adverse, man. It's the opposite of us, man. Alright? Of how a man and a woman is supposed to look. So their power is going to be broken into pieces. Let's say up the scripture. Let's go.
Yeah, please up quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
What's happening now, man? Okay? Right now we're walking as servants. We're serving our servants. You see how that's us off? And our servants are boasting themselves over their lords, which is us. We're supposed to be lords over them. That's why Esau, when you check Esau, they feel extremely threatened by us, man. Very, 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 very threatened by our mere existence. You don't have to say or do nothing. But the second you enter in, they feel threatened by you. They feel like we threaten their power. But then they have to ask themselves, why did these people who are in power feel so threatened by people that have no power? We have no power in the earth. So why are these people that have control over everything feel so threatened by us? By our mere appearance, our existence, and are so obsessed with trying to control us. Why you want to control us so much if we're nothing? You see, since you have a lot of our people, they don't understand they don't see the reality. Because if you understood that, you wouldn't be so how can I say, inferior, okay, to the Edomites. You wouldn't feel, say, that they're better than you. Because you would see, read in between the lines and see that it's all bullshit, man. It's all deception. It's not real. This whole white supremacy nonsense, man. It's not real. There's nothing supreme about having no melanin. That's a defect. That's not wrong with you. Understand? But Esau does that to boost up his ego and his self-esteem. See me? See, if our people understood that, they won't be so messed up. Right now I'm thinking about the nigger woman, man. Cause she just disgracing us, man. Anyway, let's go back.
Still on Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us.
That he spake, Most High confirmed his word. That he spake against us. Where?
And against our judges that judged us.
And against our judges that judged us. Where?
By bringing upon us a great evil.
By bringing upon us a great evil. Where?
For under the whole heaven have not been done as have it been done upon Jerusalem.
So under the whole heaven has not been done that have been done unto Jerusalem. Can I ask you a question?
Well, that's not correct.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Out of all the nations and ethnic groups on this earth, what people has suffered the most?
Well, according to official
by
there's
your
only one group of people that ever suffered, and that was the group Hitler didn't like.
Right, so I'm saying when you look at a whole, when you look at the Chinese,
No one else suffered.
when you look at the Chinese, that's what the book said. That's what the book said. But now going to your personal opinion,
There's loads of people
that have suffered the most.
African people and Irish suffered a lot. You know, there was white slavery went to Jamaica were white people and died of the heat. So they went over and there was the barbecues for running the slaves and some of the Islamic people were selling slaves and they brought them to Jamaica into North America. But when the white people got blamed for it, there was actually barbecues and Muslims were one of the slave trade. And the whole history has been rewritten. And you're not supposed to look into this.
Because the Irish.
Yeah, those were white and even English people were sold as slaves. And in Sweden there was white slaves. And they were treated really brutally.
Were they not indentured slaves?
Oh no, they were sold. And they used to beat the life out of them.
But for 500 years now.
Oh no, that's only 300 years. You go back to the 16th century. You know, if you get the right stuff.
But they were indentured slaves, though. They were not slaves like how we were slaves.
But you say
Can I ask you a question? Was their sons and daughters sold?
I'm sure they were. Yeah. Well, in North America, it was they used to split families up and sell the kids
fed to alligators.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know in the United States, from what I studied, you know, in the 1850s, they used to sell the children, they split up families, to sell the husband or the wife, and to be, you know, send the husband to babies. They say it's loads of movies on what?
On what?
On slavery in the United States.
Yeah, but what movies are they? What do they show? What do they depict?
One roots.
It's mainly the so-called black people, yeah?
That is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying, when I say under the whole heaven, what people are looked down upon the most?
Well, probably black people.
Right.
But we're not supposed to say that, because only people, as I said, that learn the history indicate that ever suffered from Jewish people.
Right.
And they're brainwashed to keep bringing out all these movies. So now they're going to pass the law that if you do not admit that 6 million people died in the Holocaust, you get prosecuted. And it has to be caught in the truth. So it used to be Holocaust denial of white people. You're not even allowed to fight them. You must accept the official American history. And they take photographs and made up some of the bombs.
Right.
Because the British Red Cross was running the cover.
That's right.
They were brought in, and then most of the people in the church died typhoid.
Yeah, right.
Dead
Right.
diseases.
Right.
And then what the gas chambers were, they were for fumigating.
See, he knows. He knows.
Fumigating the clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyclone B, was it?
Cyclone B,
Yeah. And the Cyclone B, it came from the United States. IG Farber manufactured it. And it was for delousing.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Right.
so they used to put the clothes in the bowl and pump the gas in.
Yeah.
And a lot of the certain, I don't know what the Cyclone B, but I remember reading about the gas that they used.
Yeah.
And they said that if they were gas
Right.
if they were using, I think it was the Cyclone B, they couldn't go into the building for 6 hours after. They would open all the windows, doors, and even people going outside would be poisoned. The soldiers would be poisoned. So there were a whole lot of things. And when the guy went in, he was a top scientist. And he tried to lock him up in prison in Germany. And they tried to destroy him. But he went in and he took samples out of the wall. To find out what chemical they were using. There's a whole lot of, I can't remember his name.
Fred Lucher.
Sorry?
Fred Lucher. Scientist.
Yeah. But the whole thing is but if you come out and say anything to say you're anti-Semitic, you're anti-Semitic.
So basically the Holocaust is bullshit then, isn't it really, isn't it?
Well, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not. Can you stop filming? Please, don't keep this. Don't put this on
Filming us,
YouTube.
filming us.
Yeah, no, don't put it on YouTube. I don't want to, please. I don't want to be, because I could get arrested.
No, you are.
Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God?
Well, I know there's a God. I don't believe.
Trust
I know
in him.
there's a God.
Trust in him, you won't get arrested.
Yeah, well, I know there's a creator.
Trust
If
in
he's
him,
going
and
to
you won't bother
continue,
getting arrested.
He's got his fist. Filming us. Don't.
Yeah, he's not on camera no more, mate. Don't worry, mate. You're not on camera no more.
You're right. Fred Lucher, I know that guy. What's his name? David Cole. He was Jewish. He went to Auschwitz and he asked one person, is this in original state? They said yes. Then he got the boss and he said, is this gas chamber in original state? The woman said no. I said, what about the holes in the roof? When did they come? Before the war, after the war? She said after the war. So they must have gassed them after the war. Bullshit, man. Bullshit.
Even Ahmadinejad said it was rubbish.
Yeah.
So the point is I'm trying to make it so this, according to, because the conquerors, they're the ones that write history.
the winners
They was control history.
there's a very good chance you can get it. Looking at 300 by John Coleman. John Coleman, who was a secret agent in Britain. He did all this research in the British Library and he got official documents. And he said about what they're doing. For the last 60 years now, they've been trying to wipe them out. They're using vaccination.
Thinking about that not too long ago.
Population reduction.
Yeah.
60 years. And, you know, people are under this illusion that these governments know.
They don't. And that's what I was trying to tell the people at that meeting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of things going on. They're putting money into the poor.
That's apartheid.
And listen to what he says.
What? In the formaldehyde. And you come out in the lab, and it's messing up the brain. The other thing we use is MSG.
Yeah.
So, you know, these two companies, you wouldn't be wise. You want to be careful what you do. This is all part of it. When they've said they've admitted they work for
Rex 21, what's up, Rex?
Look at the church of guys.
Yeah.
And they're wide open about this. And Bill Gates is giving millions and millions of dollars for a problem plan. Back to
I want to make a quick point, right? Because he made a good point. Yeah. He made a good point about the population reduction. I want to deal with that because you know in the history of the Israelites, the ancient Egyptians, they try to do the same thing. They try to do what they try to pretty much, kill not all of them, but reduce the population because they thought if the population increased, they were going to be overpowered. So we're going to do that.
This is Exodus 1 and 5, or start from 5, and it says, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled with them.
You gotta remember, right? When you first read what is it, that verse, it says they were first 70 souls, and they multiplied and performed.
And it says, and there arose up a new king over Egypt, knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it came to pass that when they're fulfilled out of the war, they joined also unto their enemies and fought against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with the burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasured cities, Hathom and Ramses.
Is it going to go into
it goes into it. It says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
That's the point. The more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied. Because see, like what you were saying, right, this is a very beautiful point you brought out about how they tried to, eradicate our race for 60 years. But it hasn't worked. You know why it hasn't worked? Because we're the Israelites, because the ancient Egyptians try to do the same thing on spot. They try to reduce the population. But what you got to understand is the both sides of these people. Because it tells you in the book of Matthew, if all of Israel was cut off, there would be no flesh to be saved. And the reason why we're still alive today, why? Because the so-called Negroes, as you can see on that sign, that it's Jamaicans and our so-called African Americans and the Haitian people, they're pretty much the Jews that the Bible speaks about, or the kingdom of Jews.
Can I give you something to look up on YouTube?
You got to
5.5 hours long. It's called the Synagogue of Satan.
Synagogue of Satan.
And there's another one called the Money Masters. Now, the Synagogue of Satan is the history of the Rothschild family. How they intermixed with royalty, how they got control of the world economy. You know about the 13th tribe? Well, they call them
I've got that book in my bag, is it? No, it's on my heart. I got that on my bag too.
Yeah,
I've got it in my bag. It's under my
You know about the Parliament?
The
Babylonian Parliament. Well worth studying it. Some gorgeous stuff for what you think of everything else. Because the people who practice the Parliament, they hate everyone. They want to eliminate the white race. They think that, and this is why they're flooding over in Sweden with people from Syria. They want to get rid of the white race.
The Jewish.
Yes, so they can all. And then what they're going to do, they're going to mix all the race and get the Murray and create a bronze.
Yes.
Because they'll copper permanent the believe that they'll create a hybrid team that will be very easy to control. So they've destroyed this how they've destroyed the black race and they've destroyed the white race. And they'll get everyone, the Indians and Chinese to mix, and they'll end up with a new type.
Right.
But the philosophy is that it's very easy to control. Because, if you do like, let's say the Chinese, some other place like Indians, they reckon that they lose a lot of
Culture.
Yeah, not only that, they lose certain qualities.
Right.
I'm not a racist, but the thing is, every race has its unique qualities.
Right.
And it's genocide.
Right,
when you
right.
do that, because you destroy all the good qualities.
Right.
The black kids destroy all the good
Right.
qualities. The white kids. Different
Let me
people have different abilities.
I'm not preaching.
So that's the master.
Devil. Let me give you this precept. This is Jeremiah 31 and 35. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, which give the sun for the light of day,
Right.
and the ordinances of the moon, of the stars for light,
Right.
by night, which divideth the seas when the waves therefore roar.
Right.
The Lord of hosts is his name.
Right.
If them ordinances depart from before me, thus saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever."
Because really, you can't get away with a nation. It's all about the seed of the man. Like say if I impregnate a white woman, the child might look different from me and her, but the child is still of me. It is of my seed. So no matter how much you mix, you're always of your forefathers.
Oh yeah.
So they'll never be diminished as a nation. They'll always be the seed, their lineage on the earth right now.
We'll finish off. And it says, "Thus saith the Lord, if the heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath."
And so if the heavens can be measured and the foundations of the earth be searched out,
And it says, "I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord."
right, so but that can't happen because you can't measure heaven. You can't measure the foundations of the earth. So that Israel will never be wiped out. The whole plan, the whole eugenics plan is to wipe out us and undesirables, as you know.
Yeah, well, they're going to get rid of everyone. 95% of the world population.
That's their plan.
And they'll do it. And a lot
That's
of
what I want to say too. Because you mentioned the word eugenics, which means the good seed.
Right.
The word Eugene means the good seed. The word eugenics.
Right.
Yeah, but
Where the good seed?
yeah, the thing is, they have put in more or less complete control. I tell you one of the biggest things, how they control the education. So,
Right,
99% of the people do not get what they call the way.
Right. No.
Because real education is based on Greek philosophy. Grammar, logic, rhetoric. I've studied the last 5 years. Grammar is just the body of knowledge. Logic is the ability to use inductive and deductive reasoning. Rhetoric is the ability to communicate with somebody else and solve something that you can understand it clearly. That form of education is only people that you go to the top schools in England, like Cambridge. They get trained in how to use the technique and what they can do.
Yeah.
99.9% of the schools is not logically taught. It has not been a lot. It's not been logically taught in the last 100 years.
Okay.
And unless they bring that back, training young people how to think, don't end up with a really dumbed down society.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're easy to control. Because what they do is they use what they call the logical fallacy. There's over 100 of them. And there's two main ones they use. One is opinion of experts. In other words, you're not allowed to think for yourself.
Right,
You have to go to a blooming expert.
Right.
And the other thing they use, there's several different main logical fallacies. You look them up. Type in on Google the trivia, E-R-I-V-I-U-S, the trivia, grammar, logic, rhetoric, and go into it. But this is what they're using against people. Education, I call it training for work. It's training people how to be good slaves.
Yeah, to be good slaves, exactly.
And even people who are doctors and psychologists, they're the most brainwashed.
Yeah, they're the dumbest.
Yeah, because they have never been allowed to study the trivia, grammar, logic, rhetoric. They go to comprehensive stage, whatever, they got to get what they call.
Right.
I wouldn't call it a great education. But
Indoctrinating.
the other thing they use is to get them to specialize.
Right.
And it's the same in the university. They get you to specialize, so you have a very narrow view.
Yeah, X and Y.
Yeah.
You X and
Well,
Y
no,
get X amount of money.
Yeah, but when a doctor or a lawyer, we know nothing else except the profession.
Right.
Because they haven't been trained in the trivium. The trivium really gives you very broad education.
Right.
You discover how psychology would be related to physiology. You discover how everything is connected to everything else. And you think for yourself. But the doctor, the psychologist, the psychologist knows he can very little except
What he's been taught.
yeah, he's trained. And it's training for work.
Right.
And I don't know medicine in particular. I think some of the psychologists, when they say this guy is an idiot, so mechanic.
Yeah, because the elites, they're the ones that give people, listen, you could either study business, psychology, or science. They tell you, they give you an option of what they would consider education.
Yeah.
They're the ones that constitute education.
Yeah.
Alright, and then they say, you do this, you do that. And then you come out and say, yeah, I'm greatly educated. Because that's the standard of education, but that's not real education. That's just that's a formula to work. Like if you take a caveman and they say, listen, be this mechanic. The caveman you have to train a mechanic to be the mechanic. You have to train.
But our society runs on specialization because a mechanic knows nothing about medical stuff. A doctor couldn't fix his own car, he couldn't even fix a knower or fit a lock. So these people are not educated, they're highly specialized, they're not at a point of view. But the system, that system serves the elites because the people are so busy trying to make money and specializing in a particular field. They don't really think about philosophy or science.
They're thinking about that slavery. So you see what he's saying. Basically, he's trying to say that pretty much everybody out here, they're all pretty much being reared and groomed for the new world order. Pretty much. They're all reared. They're pretty all, and it's all starting with the education. When you're a child, when you start from nursery, you're entering into like an educational system that's training you to serve the system, to serve the beast. That's basically what he's saying.
If I may say one thing, because if you notice, because you've been out here for years, and what a lot of people say is basically we're all equal.
Right.
When you actually look at how societies are, you have different variations of class.
Yeah.
You have the lower class, you have the middle class, and you have the aristocrats.
Yeah.
So how is everybody equal? When it
Oh,
goes
no,
back
there's
to
no such thing as equality.
Right.
Exactly. And I believe you see the people, the elites that run the world, they're particular bloodline thing.
Right.
If you get that book, maybe at 300, and see who runs all the illegal countries. It's always the British aristocracy. They were the first people to bring in the old Bushes into England, throw it down in gardens. And they've always, this is why they're never ever, to keep the drugs illegal. The price and the biggest drug dealers are people much higher up than the government, part of the establishment. Very sick. The whole economy of drugs is probably collapsed.
Really?
I reckon the United States of America over-financial system philosophy of life. If the banks start loans and drug money.
Oh yeah.
And if you're studying about the Bush family.
They would.
And big guys will never touch.
They're the kingpins. They're behind it.
That's what you find design.
Yeah.
And the French say that by all their first and down
Yeah, that's rubbish.
Absolutely.
They're just exactly. They're just going after the little soldiers on the street corner. There's guys behind the scenes, but they won't touch those guys. Right. And the plan is to demonize us because we're the kingpins. We're not the kingpins. They're little soldiers, man.
There was a guy in the House of Lords, and he